So this video is actually serving a few purposes. First off, we are doing this Ampharos EX deck. Secondly, you might notice the camera quality is a little bit different, and it's actually focusing really fast. Well, that's because I am not using this buddy. This is the camera I fund most of my videos with. This is not being used, and this video is almost going to be like a test for this. Now, this will be used in future videos because this video is actually being filmed out of order. Things are already filmed with this. So the channel is going to be weird for a little bit. You're going to see some with this, some with this. And like I said, this video is basically just like a test. But we are actually filming this at 60 frames per second in 4K. Now, on top of all of that, I've also been getting into actually playing the Pokemon TCG. To put it simply, I have a lot of decks, and we've been using these pre-made decks, me and my girlfriend, to just kind of play games against each other. We both pick a deck and, go at it. And so I want to pick up more decks, and so now I actually know more about actually playing the TCG, which is something this channel has never focused on before. While these decks will still just be a first look and not some how to properly use it, I can start, getting a bit better of a deep dive into these things. But here we have the large EX coin. I actually think this is my first EX coin, which is interesting. So I'm not going to bother opening this thing. It's just like kind of how to play the game. This tells you your, what you could do during your turn, yada, yada, yada. Of course, you got a bunch of these guys, but they're all hollow-fied. Then we have, what are you? Okay, it's these inserts they tend to put into these decks. They just kind of made them black now instead of white. Okay, so they actually have the one for the Lucario deck in here, and then one for Ampharos. I'm assuming this is just going to be... Okay, no, actually, I thought this was the playmat. I didn't really get a good look at it. I just grabbed it. We have the quick start rolls here. I'm going to end up with a box full of these things. And finally, yes, this should just be the playmat. Oh, interesting. I like that. It's not like... so, over here, you have the more traditional playmat. Prize card slots, bench, all that fun stuff. I know it's upside down. But then on this side, it's actually just kind of like a poster, essentially. I mean, not one I would ever hang up. It's pretty boring, but, I mean, it's a start. I would love to see them make that like a standard thing. Finally, we get down to, if you guys would like this deck to actually try it out for yourself in the TCG Live, one lucky person can use this code. Well, I started to open the box, and I realized you guys should probably actually be able to see it. It's pretty simple. We just have, like, electric themed with some green going on. I wonder if that means we got some green boys in here. But of course, also it came with this promo. I assume it is Ampharos EX, and yes, it is a promo number 16. It seems 1 energy for Electro Ball, 3 for 240 plus. Okay, so it's one of those where you can like sacrifice energy off of it in order to deal more damage. So we have obviously a bunch of electric energies. We have the youngster. Shuffle your hand back into your deck, then draw 5 cards. Seems useful. I've been using one that's similar, but I know there's the one for the Professor's Research is 7 cards. I think those are discards, and this shuffle back in the deck. Pretty simple. Collect card or just an attack. I don't see that one being used a whole lot. A lot of damage for it being a stage 1, but you also have to discard energy off of it. Mareep. We have the potion, which I've never really... I mean, I use the pre-made decks, but they're not like a favorite. Switch your active Pokemon, so you got a switch in there. Not quite a switch cart, but Rotom, linear attack. This attack does 20 damage to one of your Pokemon, to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Okay, so it doesn't. So that can ignore first off weaknesses, and you can also attack bench Pokemon. Interesting. I would say if you're going to use this deck, I would probably replace the switches with switch cart. But aside from that. Draw 3 cards, simple enough. Search your deck for up to 2 evolution Pokemon. Reveal them and put them in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Then we have our standard Ultra Ball. Starly, I'm assuming your evolutions while you're in here. Put up the 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. I haven't really used energy retrieval a whole lot, but I know it's definitely a common thing. So Staravia just does a decent attack, but I don't know if I'd put 3 energies on it. We have the Flaffy, discarded energy from this Pokemon. Understand, I'm still new to the card game, so some of the things that I'm saying, like, oh, I don't know if I would do that, doesn't mean that it's a wrong thing to do. I probably just don't understand. So we do just have the Miraidon here. Okay, so you could do 90, then 32 at bench. That could be used for like a final hit or just the kind of prime damage on something. Does 20 damage to itself. Yeah, makes sense. So its attack is high enough to kill itself. Pokegear 3.0. I don't think I've seen this one. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a supporter card you find there and put it in your hand. Interesting. So if you guys are wondering, this channel is not going to be focused on the actual gameplay of the TCG, but whenever I do these decks, I would like to kind of look into that. When I'm doing pack openings and stuff, it's not going to be, oh, I'm reading the cards to figure out what they do. There's our Staraptor, so why do we want you? 2 energy, 60 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon. So it has the basic on their end, but that's interesting. That seems pretty useful. Then Power Blast, discard an energy from this Pokemon. So this deck, I'm assuming you're gonna have struggle trying to cycle energies about. And I don't think I've seen a whole lot of trainers that would help with that. Oh, okay, never mind. Energy retrieval, forgot about that. Then of course you have the ability to shuffle your hand into your deck instead of just discarding. So that could be a way to try and cycle more energies forward. Of course, drawing 3 cards again could be used for cycling energies. Discard 2 cards. Like, these kind of things are really useful if you're using your discard pile for certain things. I don't know how much I like it in this. And I guess it makes sense. You need to be able to search for certain things. I don't know how useful it would be in this. Maybe someone can let me know. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on the bench. Like, that seems more useful to me for this deck. Draw 3 cards. We have our Rotom. I'm guessing we're just down to duplicates. Oh, we have the Flaffy. Okay, no, I think we already saw that because it's another discard and energy from this. Neat. I apologize if the audio is kind of poor here, but if you're wondering about the actual more profile of everything in here, 3 the bird, you have the Ampharos, you have your Maripline, the Rotom, Miraidon, and then my microphone's actually in the way there. You guys can see the microphone. They're all your normal types. So these are all the actual Pokemon that come with this deck. I also counted, and there are 18 energies in this deck. That is a fair amount. And then as far as the trainers are concerned, this deck actually goes all in with the youngsters. You have 4 there, and you have 4 of the Nemona, I'm assuming her name is pronounced. Single Jack, 2 Ultra Balls, 2 Switches, 2 Potions, 2 Nest Balls, 2 Energy Retrievals, and a single Pokegear 3.0. So I'd say all in all, this deck might be interesting and fun to play with only a single EX though. You'll definitely want to pick up more, I would assume at least more Ampharos, if not more, different EXs or even Vs to pair up with this guy. But again, I'm not an expert. I'm still very new to actually playing. But it is now time for the bonus card of the day. These are cards that I buy specifically to go in this segment. I usually forget what's even in here by the time it comes around, and I always shuffle them whenever I buy new ones. So this card is still in the sleeve that I bought it in. It's this weird blue turquoise looking sleeve, but we're going to slide it out. If I can. There we go. And as far as damage, there is a bit of whitening up here, some nicks on the side, so we can assume this one's going to be a bit older. We have, well, yeah, definitely older. We have from back in 2000 and, what is that, 6? Sorry, it's kind of hard to see from this new recording setup. We have the Raichu from EX Holon Phantoms as a stamped card. I always love adding on to my stamped collection. I think I'm probably around 60 cards now if I had to guess in this stamped collection. This will probably be going in a better sleeve, but for now, it gets to hang out in this guy. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all of that fun stuff, and hopefully I'll see all of you guys next time. Goodbye for now.